The 2022 Dakar Rally picked up serious speed in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as Toyota Gazoo Racing continued their mission to capture a second title at the world's toughest race. When you last joined us, 2019 winners Nasser Al-Attiyah and Mathieu Baumel held a comfortable lead after Stage 3. And the pair didn't disappoint in Stage 4, which was the longest of the rally, a 707-kilometer trek from Al Qasamua to Riyadh. Nasser and Mathieu recorded their second stage victory of the 2022 Spectacular, enjoying a clean run in their Toyota Hilux T1 Plus as they extended their overall lead to just over 38 minutes.
Yes, I am happy to win today. It was a good day for us without any problems, and we try to do day by day like this. Tomorrow is another day and we try to do our best, and we open the road. We'll see what will come in.
In stark contrast, teammates Henk Lanterkan and Brett Cummins set the pace during the first half of the stage, only to see what seemed like a certain win slip away from them.
It started extremely well. The pair led the stage, I think, for 200 kilometers or thereabouts. Then they had a puncture. We saw this on the tracking, and then 20 kilometers later, they were stopped. And we've spoken to Henk and Brett on the sat phone, and the right rear hub, or the piece that holds the wheel onto the drivetrain, has broken off. So I'm standing here, obviously very sad for Henk. You know, could have won his first Dakar stage today. It looked on the odds.
Stage 5 featured a timed section of 421 kilometers over hard-packed soil, sand and dunes, with a liaison totaling 216 Ks. It saw Lanterkan and Cummins bounce back in emphatic fashion to win their first ever stage at the Dakar.
No, it was a mad day. A proper Dakar day. It started this morning really early on, just after the start, probably like 10 kilometers in. My door went open. I don't know what happened. I think something broke in here. I see the latch is gone. So yeah, then I was trying to hold the door closed while driving. And then eventually at the first decontrol, we could see that the doors or the latch was broken and it wasn't going to close. So I got into the car and then strapped myself, or tie strapped the door closed on one of the straps that's in here. Then carried on like that. Then we got a puncture, so I had to jump out through the car, through Brett's door, to get out to change the puncture. Then we had some issues with the fuel pressure. I'm not sure what was happening there. I think the one fuel pump went. And then the tie straps broke again. So we actually ended up stopping on a dune, and Brett was busy reading the book, trying to figure out how to override the fuel pump, and I was busy tying the door back on because it started coming off. It started breaking loose. We thought we were having a terrible day, and then we got to the end of the stage, and it said we had the quickest time, and I couldn't believe it. It was really up and down day. Unreal.
Al-Attiyah and Baumel were tasked with opening the road on a route devoid of motorbike tracks, making life tough as far as navigation was concerned. Despite the obstacles, they restricted their time loss to just 3 minutes to maintain their position at the top of the overall standings. Janelle de Villiers and Dennis Murphy continued to push their limits on Stage 5, posting the 7th fastest time on the day. They recorded a clean run with no mechanical problems or punctures.
Yeah, very difficult from a navigational point of view. We, in the beginning, really tricky to find the right way. We started 6th car, and then very soon we were 3rd car on the road with just Sebastian and Nasser in front of us. So some places, you just lose their tracks completely, and obviously you have to do your own navigation. But we had a clean stage, we didn't make any big mistakes or had any punctures. So we're happy with the way it went.
ready to go. Back to Toyota Gazoo Racing's Team Hilux as they take on Dakar 2022.
Stage 6 saw crews take on a timed section of 348 Ks, incorporating dunes, sandy tracks, and a large portion of hard-packed soil. The stars of the stage for Toyota Gazoo Racing, Shamir Variawa and Donnie Stassen. The men recorded their best ever finish, posting the 7th fastest time, as they moved up to 17th place in the overall standings.
We had a clean run, no problems, no issues. A lot of dust though. Getting past a couple of the cars, we were quite surprised. We thought we would be quite far down because of the dust being held. We were holding back with the dust. But I see we did a good time. It was a good stage.
Alati and Bommel continued their steady progress, taking no chances during the final stage before the race day, setting the 10th fastest time to increase their overall lead at the halfway mark. De Villiers and Murphy headed into the race day with a podium position well in sight, moving to just over 1.5 minutes shy of 3rd place, despite terrible visibility out on the route.
Yeah, I mean, stage was quite tricky, difficult with the navigation. In the end, the visibility was really, really bad in the dunes. So, I mean, we just all followed Nasser, you know. But the first car, you cannot go because it's just impossible to go with the visibility. So, yeah, a lot of cars finished together, but yeah, I mean, not a bad day for us. We had one puncture, but otherwise, no problem.
Stage 5 heroes Lartigan and Cummings couldn't quite replicate their efforts from the previous day. The task of opening the route, combined with 2 punctures, saw them finish almost 25 minutes adrift of stage winners Terranova and Carreras. The eagerly awaited rest day gave competitors the chance to put their feet up, but it was all about work for the mechanics as they fine-tuned the Hilux vehicles for the second half of the Dakar.
I hope, you know, to win this race, you know, because for the team, really, we fight a lot, you know, last 2 years, you know, to win here in Saudi Arabia. But now we have a good lead and we try to do our best.
With competitors well rested, stage 7 lay in wait, a 402-kilometer long stage between Riyadh and Al Dawadimi. It proved to be a disastrous day for De Villiers and Murphy, as a broken oil pipe put paid to their podium aspirations, with Lartigan and Cummings coming to the rescue.
Yeah, I don't know what we must do to change the luck. You know, it just seems like we don't have luck. It's unbelievable. We were going quite nicely, and then after about 130 k's, the main oil pipe came off on the front, just shot out the fitting, and it pumped all the engine oil out within like 10 seconds. I just saw no oil pressure, it killed the engine immediately, and then. Obviously, we try to fix that. You know, big thank you to Henk and Brett. They stopped there to help us, and also to Dennis. You know, he did an amazing job. You know, he's very good at these things. But it took a long time to get the pipe back onto the fitting because it was completely frayed, and you know, all the steel pieces we had to cut with small little cutters that we had. We destroyed the one cutter and then tried another one. And then, of course, we had to get oil because the engine holds about 12 liters of oil, and we only carried like 1.5 liters. So Henk and Brett gave us some oil, and then Chris Visser gave us a big load of oil, about 4 liters, and then one of the other cars from Overdrive gave us some oil. So we had about 6-7 liters in, but still around right-hand corners, my oil pressure came down to like 0.2, 0.3 bar. So I just was completely off the throttle, not revving the car, until I got some oil pressure again, and then I could go. So yeah, challenging stage, and I have to say a bit disappointing because you know, we were fighting for the podium, and now we fell down the rankings.
Whatever we can do to help the rest of the team, we will do. And we saw Janelle next to the road with a problem, so we stopped to help him. He had an oil pipe that came off, so he gave him some of our oil and then helped them. It was a big job. We had to remove the guards and everything, so we stopped there to help them fix it, and then they went to go fetch a waypoint, and then we just followed them back to make sure they get to the finish. So yeah, it was a bit of a team game today, but that's part of racing.
Back to Toyota Gazoo Racing's Team Hilux as they take on Dakar 2022.
Stage 8 saw competitors continue their march to Jeddah in an extremely long journey with a sea of dunes featuring heavily. Fariawa and Stassen continued their good form. The ever-improving pair posted the 18th fastest time and climbed to 14th in the overall standings.
Yeah, look, we definitely had more pace that we could go faster. When we came to the recontrol, we gauged where we are with the guys, and then we said, listen, you know what, we're aiming more to get into the top 10 than to get stage times, you know. So we made a decision to back it off a bit and get the finish. And I think now the rest of the days, I think it needs to be consistent finishing. So we're happy.
The day was a tough one for Nasser and Mathieu, who finished 10 minutes off the pace, but they maintained a healthy overall lead of almost 38 minutes.
We have a problem from beginning of the bivouac. You know, we nearly the bivouac. We have a rear diff problem, and but we need to be quiet. You know, and we start the stage with the big noise of the rear diff, and we try to slow down in the first 200k, and then the next 200k we need to at least to push. But we are really lucky to finish the stage. We lose only 7 minutes from Sab, you know, but we need to check now why we have the problem with the rear diff.
The 287-kilometer long 9th stage, which started and ended at the bivouac near Wadi Andawasiya, proved to be a historic one for Toyota Gazoo Racing, as the team delivered the 3 fastest times of the day. De Villiers and Murphy took top honors, finishing just 9 seconds ahead of teammates Lartigan and Cummings.
Really nice, you know, especially after last night. You know, yesterday we had a problem with the dampers, and which gradually got worse over the last couple of days. You know, we struggled to find the problem, but the guys did an all-nighter last night, and I must say, you know, this is really a great team effort last night, and thanks to them. You know, the car was perfect today. We had a nice clean run today. Nothing really wrong, so really happy to get a stage one for Toyota.
We had a very nice stage. I started off quite well. The previous days, when we get to the neutralization, we just ahead, and then I think the other guys start pushing, and then then we lose a bit of time towards the end. So today we gave it a good go in the morning, and we had a nice little lead at some point, I think, and then we got a puncture, unfortunately. I lost a bit of time there, but we were still close to the guys in front, and then towards the end we were going really nicely, found a nice smooth clean rhythm, and then Carlos actually came past us in the dunes, and that car is extremely fast in there, so we tried to hang with him. I think he pulled us through the dunes a little bit. He's really good in there, and then when we got out we just stuck behind him and stayed in his dust all the way to the end. It was a bit frustrating and difficult to see all the rocks, but we made it.
Alati and Bommel were third quickest, extending their lead in the overall standings to 39 minutes and 5 seconds, with just 3 stages to go.
Now we have a good lead, you know, and we are quite happy, you know. Toyota look today in good shape, you know, first and second and third, and yeah, the tire BF Goodrich working really very good today because it was mixed stony and gravel and sandy. Well, we are quite happy today.